first call to the public. Do we have anyone that would like to speak today? No? Okay. So we'll move to our agenda items. So I need a motion to approve the bid from Jones Outdoor not to exceed $16,350 for a driveway for the new 911 tower.
So moved.
Support.
Excellent. Discussion on that?
So this was an item that was taken up at the 911 board meeting, and due to the heavy construction and being able to access where this tower is located, they had to put a driveway in to go back to it. And there was some heavy equipment damage that was done, getting everything in there for the tower, so we really need to have our own access road. With that in mind, Shiawassee Township, who is giving us the property or leasing us the property without cost, would like this driveway done. As part of that, there were two estimates that were received, and then the 911 board voted on them. And I'll let Angie answer any questions you may have about the bids.
Thank you. Yeah, absolutely. Thank you, Angie.
Yeah, no problem. So yes, we received the two bids, one from Jones Outdoors and the other from Bart's Excavating. Both are for a 10-foot wide driveway, roughly around 600 foot long. It's going to be coming in off of M21, wrapping around the back of the cemetery and cutting over to the tower. So, and yes, Jones Outdoors is $850 more than Bart's, but the condition of like the soil and the ground back there, it's very soft, which is why we had all the damage that we did. Jones Outdoors is willing to go down 10 inches for the drive. So the 911 board felt that that was a better option in case work or anything has to be done in the future, and hopefully last longer. So
Seems like a sufficient reason. Be $800 more, you know?
Yeah. And also Motorola is going to be chipping in to help with this cost too. I don't know if that's going to be yet, but I'm looking to get some help from them as well.
Further, this comes out of the 911 budget, not the general fund budget, and the 911 board voted and approved this unanimously
Yes.
at the last meeting.
And Josh, if I could, it was
Yeah, absolutely.
very thoroughly vetted.
Yeah.
Lot of discussion on it. And like a lot of cemeteries in the county, it's a very old cemetery. My family is buried in that cemetery, so I'm very familiar with it. And the drives are very narrow, and you cannot have any heavy equipment going through there at all. So it is needed.
I remember Gary Schultz telling me about that
Yes.
too, because he's on the board and he obviously was giving a good breakdown to me on that. It's just too tight.
Yep.
So,
He is a very beneficial member to have on the 911 board.
yes, he certainly is. Definitely is. So does anyone else have further questions? Do I need a roll call vote for this?
No, it's committee.
Okay, committee. Okay. So all those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Those opposed? Motion passes. Second call to the public, if anyone has any questions. All right, with no further questions, the meeting is adjourned.
Well, that was easy, right? Call the Health and Human Services Committee meeting to order and stand for the pledge, please. I pledge allegiance to the flag
of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. First call to the public for this committee. Anybody? Nope. All right, brings us to our first agenda item. I would entertain a motion to approve the chairman's selection of Maxwell Ruegsecker to Shiawassee Health and Wellness. If someone would make that motion.
I'll make the motion.
Okay, Gary, support by Josh. Since this was my idea, I'm in favor of it. Going to be an excellent addition to the board. I think he'll bring a very diverse set of skills, knowledge to that board.
I would add that Max works next door at Recovery Pathways, and he is very interested in this particular board, this committee. He doesn't have any of the conflicts associated with just previous members that we've been trying to appoint have all been government officials, and the Health and Wellness Board has all these stipulations that you have to be in this category, this category, this category, and he meets those requirements because he's a general member of the public. And finally, he's a resident of Durand, so that gives him a little more geographic diversity around the county, because a lot of that board is heavily Owasso centered.
All right, anything further on that? Gary, got anything?
No, I don't know him.
Yeah, you're gonna like him. He's a good guy. So, all those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. All those opposed the same. And we'll see that tomorrow. I would entertain a motion to approve the grant agreement between the Cook Foundation for vaccination programming in the amount of $10,000 and authorize the board chair to execute the contract.
I'll make the motion.
I will support it. Moved and supported. What do we got?
This is a grant that's going to help provide some funding for upcoming vaccine clinics this fall. It's going to offset some of our staff time that we have to draw from reduced funds that we are now receiving. And we're going to do some education and outreach with this money too, as far as the importance of vaccines. There's been a lot of negative things come out since COVID on vaccines overall, and it's important that we remember to focus on how important they are to have vaccines. So,
Is this just for general public, or is this for school-age children? Or
focus is going to be school-age children, but our clinics are general public too.
I'm probably one of those people skeptical of vaccines, so are we making sure that that education is based on what we know today?
Based on science.
Well, hey, I'm an RFP fan,
I
so,
understand.
all right.
Yeah, we need the vaccines there, all the polio, measles, and all the things go around, people don't believe them. We'd have a lot less people, so maybe that'd be good.
Well,
If that's what you believe,
so,
I'll say it like it is.
no, I just have a question about the, has this been something that the department's been doing, and so this is just kind of picking up the program as
This is
is?
supplemental funding for something that they're already doing,
Okay.
but because of cuts at the federal level and the money that he receives, because remember, a few months ago, I sent you a memo from Larry and myself that detailed some of the cuts, including the school nursing program and stuff like that. This program is having some cuts. The Cook Foundation is donating to Larry's department to kind of make up some of the difference that has been cut in federal funding. It is not a new program per se, it's just a new source of braided funding.
Correct. Okay. So the information that you have been, that kind of has been going out to people getting the vaccines, the kids, whether they're adults or their children, I mean, it's the same information. It's
Correct.
It's just status quo, and this is to fill the gap because of the funding cut.
Correct.
Okay. Yep.
Has anything, Larry, changed with, so one of the things that I guess concerns me is when you take infants and give them so many vaccines at once, like, is there any research or anything that you're aware of that looks at better vaccination practices, or?
Well, there are lots of changes happening at the federal level.
Okay.
Through the Department of Health and Human Services. And there is some new guidance on the COVID vaccine from the federal health department. And that is, that it doesn't recommend it for pregnant women and I think children under the age of 2. So there are some changes, and you all follow the news, you know exactly what's going on. So
Well, I follow Twitter, or I don't look at the news.
So yeah, so we're still here. We're still, obviously the big issue right now is measles, and as Commissioner Holzhausen said, we've had an outbreak in the state. It's important to keep a focus on the vaccines. Aside from COVID, take that right out of the equation. The importance of vaccines.
Well, but thank you, that did answer my question, and that's exactly what that heartens me, that there is some changes. Cause I'd hate to see just the same science repeated year after year after year without any modifications, so, thank you. Anybody else?
We don't live in a perfect world, so.
I agree, Gary, very much so. But you look at things that were science, you know,
Yeah.
hard medical science 20 years ago that are not that way today, so.
I think if it were a newer program, you know, like I would be concerned about like what's being, how's the education looking like, but it sounds like a continuation of the current process, so probably okay with that, but yeah.
All right. Anybody else on this? Okay, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All those opposed the same, and we'll see that again tomorrow. I would look for a motion to approve the conditional offer of a retirement incentive for 2 retirement eligible health department employees, and further move that the incentive shall be $10,000 and employees must accept or reject this offer by September 30th of 2025.
So I'll make the motion.
I will support it.
So very briefly, and Larry, we can add more context to this. As you know, there have been several cuts to his funding. As a result of some of these cuts to his funding, Larry would like to make some adjustments in his department by offering a buyout or a retirement incentive to 2 employees for a total savings of about $97,000 after they retire. Now, this is not something we normally do. We have done a countywide retirement incentive previously, but that has not been on the table for several years. But these funds are in Larry's department. They would come from Larry's department and would only be for Larry's department. Now, that being said, there is not funding in the general fund to do this at a countywide level or for any other department. So this would be kind of a one-off if you are to approve it. And with that, I'll let Larry explain some of the background.
Yeah, what he just said is really correct. Well spoken. I don't think I could have said it as good myself. As we talked about in the last item, trying to find new sources of revenue, we're also continuing to make cuts. And so we made some pretty severe cuts back in April, including laying off some staff. And with this elimination of one position and then the other position being a biller that we will bring back on contract at reduced hours with no benefits, it takes 2 out of the pension, and I could save almost $100,000. And so, in hopes of avoiding any further layoffs as we continue to get our budget in line with what the revenues are that are coming in. So these have been tough times in the health department. I'm thankful to you guys for being supportive to helping us get through this. And these 2 individuals have met the eligibility requirements, and we're willing to do it. And so, talked to Brian about it a few months ago. I think it'd be a good idea.
Just for the
You know what the outcome will be. You say they have to accept it. They've already expressed interest.
I believe yes, they're going to accept it.
Well, and I would say too, for those of you that don't know, Larry's finance director, Derek, he's excellent. So he's been very creative along with Larry in trying to, shore up some of these deficits we have in the health department, and Derek does a fantastic job, so.
Appreciate that.
I would also add that $97,000 is a fair amount of savings, particularly now that every department that has an external funding source has to adhere to the MGT funding requirements to the general fund for the services that the general fund pays. And so his savings will likely go to pay the general fund for its contribution.
That's been very popular, I might add.
It makes me tremendously popular. But this is also something that can only be offered with a department that has some kind of external funding like this. The general fund cannot support this, and the vast majority of employees are general fund employees.
All right, anything else? Gary and I sit on the health department board, so. All right, all those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. All those opposed, the same. And that brings us to our second call to the public. Tom, we're ready for you.
Watch those cords.
I know, they need red things
I
laying
know,
all
you'd think we'd
around.
be cordless.
We're gonna
by
put
now.
lights on them.
Yes, yes.
We got little Christmas lights we're gonna put
We're a
up.
poor county.
Right?
Oh, what I wanted to talk about was, I'm going to be covering the drain meeting tomorrow at 11 o'clock.
Oh, that's great.
And, I don't know whether you all are gonna be there or not, but, I will say this, I did write a story on it. I don't think our new drain commissioner should get blamed for anything. He's brand new and the state of Michigan says it's gotta be taken care of now. So it doesn't matter who's in there. It's just unfortunate this wasn't taken care of before, because I think this is gonna cost us way more money. Now that the state's involved, the state is saying, you're gonna pay this. Where maybe we could have gotten it done for like maybe 100,000 less, 150,000 less if we would have just made a deal with Saginaw County. But my understanding is it's going to be 66-33 is what the state wants. So,
Yeah, but you don't understand, all the money they spent is all in Saginaw County, and they all got their fingers in it, and they all got paid.
I know.
What a ripoff.
Well, yes, but we were going to get ripped off no matter what, right? I mean,
They went to court, someone got $50,000,
I'm not,
some $30,000,
I'm not
and they
saying-
want us to pay 3/4 of it. What a rip.
well, yes.
The guy from the state, he's so ups, he doesn't know which way water runs. He thinks water runs uphill. He goes along with the Saginaw County Drain Commissioner, so.
That's what I'm saying. I'm saying it doesn't matter.
And they haven't done one single scoop yet.
Pardon me?
They haven't done nothing yet.
Well, I guess we bought the properties, right? The money's been spent on the properties.
Well, right away's all, they
Right.
still own it. Yeah, they all got thousands down there. Nobody in Shiawassee got a nickel. They all got it because they
Right.
all fighting. We paid for their lawyers and everything, so.
I agree.
Time her off.
I agree. I'm just saying is that was going to happen no matter what, right?
Our water went down there for years. They had injunctions back when I was in the 50s. They had injunctions from Saginaw County. You didn't even know that, so.
The sheet I got starts in 1880 and it goes boom, boom, boom.
They
boom.
don't have them all. There was a bunch of injunctions there because I was digging on it, and they had injunctions that said we couldn't dig in Shiawassee County. They're not even recorded.
So here's the thing, Tom. I think the
Yeah.
moral of this story is
Yeah.
that you should have fact-checked with Commissioner Holzhausen.
Well, I've
'Cause
got
he's
all,
got the information.
but I've got all the papers. I got all the court papers.
All right, well, you talk to Gary. He'll straighten this out, and we are adjourned.
Okay. I'll see y'all.
Yes.